To the right side of the host, Armstrong Williams, and our guest, Governor Sarah Palin. How do you balance being a mother of four, being a wife, and just a homemaker with your gubernatorial responsibilities?
Well, my favorite role is being mom. You know, having the four kids. It's a very busy role, that aspect of my life, of course. Four kids, four different schools. We were just registering them yesterday for their different schools, and the logistics get complicated. Thankfully, my husband enjoys being a dad as much as I enjoy being a mom. We also, logistically speaking, have a lot of help with my parents, his parents, siblings, aunts and uncles. It's a great big family, and everybody lives here in Alaska, so we have help wherever we go. But, you know, I like to say that everything that I'm doing today, I'm doing for my kids' future and their peers, their future. So, you know, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything right now. I feel like it's a busy time in our lives, but we're able to balance it all by the grace of God. And so far, so good. Things are working out.
What will you consider to be the gift and the limitation that you take from both of your parents?
Oh, my goodness. Okay. The gift is a literal gift. The greatest gift my parents ever gave me is two things. One, it was a love of sports and competition. They're very athletic, and they're coaches, and that has been instilled in me, sports competition. The other one was the gift that they gave me with this upbringing in Alaska, where I feel like, man, I'm serving a great big family full of Alaskans, and I so appreciate that they thought all those years ago to move on up to the last frontier and raise their four kids in this state. So those are the gifts. Limitations, that's a good question too, Armstrong. My parents aren't political at all. They're just real common sense, hard-working, you know, school teacher type, and just not political. So maybe some would interpret that a limitation being I wasn't brought up with any kind of privilege or any kind of political machinery around me in order to propel me into a position like this. I think it's a benefit, but some people may say that that was kind of detrimental in my past.
Does it amaze you how little people know about Alaska and its contributions to the rest of the United States?
It amazes me, and it's unfortunate because Alaska could be known for the contributions that we should be making. Right now, we supply about 20% of the U.S. domestic supply of energy to the nation. We should be supplying a heck of a lot more. We have the reserves. We have these resources. The federal government and federal officials just need to allow us to prove that we can very responsibly and safely develop more to secure the United States by providing domestic stable supplies of energy. That aspect, I think, of what our state's all about gets lost on the lower 48 residents who live across America, and I'd like them to recognize what Alaska has to offer.
And what would you say to people to encourage them to come to Alaska, not just to come, but to make this their home, the kind of opportunities that are afforded them here in this last frontier?
Well, I think you can help do that, Armstrong, because talking to you off camera, it's so cool to hear your perspective about Alaska, how unique it is, how beautiful it is, clean, safe, all those things that you've been repeating right on back to me, and I'm agreeing with you on. People just, as you're here, you know, you can look outside and see the beauty of Alaska, and we want to share that. You know, I think, man, God has blessed us so much up here, and we shouldn't be hiding it and hoarding it just for ourselves, but sharing that with the rest of the world. You're a good spokesperson for that.
Thank you. Before we say goodbye to you, we must have you comment on the war in Iraq, and what do you think the options should be, and where should we be on that conflict? Because many people who supported the president in the beginning, including myself, have sort of evolved to a different position now. We're just curious as to where you are in terms of your leadership on Iraq.
I was very privileged to get to travel just a week or two ago over to Kuwait and to Iraq to visit our troops over there, Alaskan troops, and show my respect for these men and women making such great sacrifices where they're fighting a war over there, which I think is better than having to fight a war over here on our land. So in that respect, you know, I certainly support the mission. On the other hand, Armstrong, yesterday, it was less than 24 hours ago, I was standing at the Fort Richardson graveyard, and I was participating in a graveside service for one of the soldiers based here in Alaska whom we had to bury, as he made the ultimate sacrifice, you know, for our freedoms. So personally, man, it's tough. It is tough. And when I consider too that my oldest, my son, he's 18. He's looking at military, thinking about, you know, if that's an option. I'd support him if he wanted to join, but doggone it, it's tough personally to say, it's a never-ending conflict that we're going to be a part of. I want to know that there is a good outcome, that there is a good end. There is no guarantee of that. We have no crystal ball to find out what it's going to be to kind of wrap this up and let our troops come home. But, you know, in the meantime, as they're doing their duty in defending our freedoms and protecting us, I support our troops. I show them all due respect to them and their families here, whom they're also making these tremendous sacrifices. You know, I love our military.
And our final question. You're the most popular governor in the United States. That is incredible as a Republican. What can other governors and constituents learn from the lessons of why you, after being elected in 2006, remain so popular, so trusted, and so well respected by the people that matter most, those that put you in power, to lead them and serve as their governor?
Well, you know, I think that the biggest mistake that a politician can make is trying to fake it, trying to pretend like you know more than you know. You know, voters are smarter than that. The public in general is much smarter than that, and they know when you're trying to fake it. So just be honest with people. But I'm very thankful for that approval rating that we have right now. That's testament to the wise people whom I have around me. My cabinet is good. My lieutenant governor, he's an awesome man. We have some wonderful people who are serving the state of Alaska for the right reasons. I just happen to have my name on that nameplate there that says governor, but it's a whole team of people working hard.
Thank you, Governor Palin, so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.